Hello there everybody and welcome to today's story time video. Now I know it's been a little while since I've done a story time video. I used to call them Sunday stories. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I do these sometimes, hopefully more times. A lot of exciting events have happened in my life since the last time I've done a story time video. So maybe I will. But I knew this one had to come to light immediately. I had to tell this one immediately because it was definitely a wild ride and something that all people who are planning on getting piercings need to know, that this is something that does happen. Basically what I'm about to tell you in this video is how these went wrong. It's been about a month, maybe almost two, since these have been done, so obviously you're not going to see any damage or whatever here. I'm debating on whether or not I want to post pictures of said damage in this video because I am hoping to get monetized, so I probably won't. I'll probably just describe it to you as best as I can without also getting demonetized from that. So, over the course of my teenage years leading up to now, which is I'm almost 21, I'll be 21 in December, I've always wanted to get snakebite piercings. And if you don't know what those are, it's basically these two little piercings right here on either side of your bottom lip. I've always wanted to get those. I thought those were the coolest thing. I thought they were very attractive on other people, and I wanted it for myself. Obviously, I wasn't looking forward to the pain that I knew that would come with it, because obviously there's someone shoving a needle through your lip twice, but I really wanted it and I thought it would be worth it. I have a nose piercing, and at one point I did have my ears pierced. I don't really do this anymore, but I did. So I knew it was a pain tolerance that I could probably handle. I also have like a lot of tattoos, which I'm planning on doing a tattoo tour soon for all those of you who are going to ask about it. So I knew it was something that I could definitely handle. Lee had just gotten their tongue piercing done, and I had never wanted a tongue piercing because of just a whole bunch of reasons. So I was like, I'm gonna go back with you when you get your new tongue stud or whatever, and I'm gonna get my lip done then. So the whole way there I was very nervous because I was like, oh, it's gonna hurt, and like I'm a little baby when it comes to pain, piercing pain. Tattoo pain doesn't really bother me so much, but piercing pain does. Like, this hurt a lot. So I was like, ugh. But I knew this was something that I wanted to do. So I went to the place, which I'm not going to say obviously where, but it's a place in New York where I live. I went to the place that Lee had went to get their tongue done. And I went up to the very same guy, and I was going to get my lip done. So they sat me down in the chair. Keep in mind, they didn't really tell me what to do. It was just kind of like they thought, or like they assumed that I knew what to do as far as me prepping in the chair and aftercare goes. So they grabbed my lip with this little clamp thing, and they pulled it back, and basically he said, "Are you ready?" I had to brace for impact, and I said, "Yes, I'm ready," and he shoved a needle through my lip. It hurt at a 5-second delay. My body sat there, processed it, and then, and that's the exact sound that left my lips. It was like a little whimper. It was like, and he was like, I know, like as if like you're calming a baby, like, shh, it's okay. I was like, So then he, I don't even know what he did. I guess he put like the filler piercing in there or whatever. I was just trying so hard to keep my body still. I was afraid of like jerking and like ruining it, and I was also afraid of like dribbling blood or whatever, or saliva, so I just kept myself completely still. And then he did the other side, and I'm not kidding you. The second one hurt way worse than the first one. I think it's because my body went into shock from the pain from the first piercing. So when he did the second one on this side, it hurt way worse. But that's not even the worst part about it. The worst part about it is when I hear him quietly say to himself, "Oh shit. Oh shit." When I heard that, I was like, oh my god, no, don't tell me you messed up anything. That was like my worst fear then and there, but of course I didn't say anything because I'm scared and I'm too busy figuring out why it hurts so bad. So I was like, oh my god, I had not been prepared for that. Obviously there's a reason for why it hurts so bad, but we'll get to that. Because all piercings hurt, but this was like, wow, and Lee was holding my hand. I was squeezing their hand. So he puts the two filler piercings in there, which if you don't know, they're basically bigger piercings than what these would be or what everyone else would have. And the reason for that is because the hole has to heal and close up around it, and it needs to be bigger than the smaller one so that you have no chance of it like closing up. It'll heal around it and everything will be fine. So when I left the place, obviously the cool air felt good on the piercing. Oh, and yeah, I forgot to mention I had to actually ask about aftercare. They didn't just tell me right off the bat. Guess they assumed I already knew. And I had to purchase the saltwater spray to put on like twice a day. Whatever, stuff like that, stuff that you can Google right away, easily. So I left, and he had told me that in 1 to 2 weeks it should be all healed up, and in like a month or so I should be able to come back and switch out for smaller piercings. So I went home, and I showed it off to my mom, my stepdad, everybody. I was so happy. I loved how it looked. I was like, wow, this adds so much to my face. I really like how I look. I don't want to go without these piercings ever again. I can't wait until I can get the black little spikes, which I have in right now, or the black rings, which I'm getting soon. I can't wait. So I was like very eager for this process of healing to be over so I can move on to that. Well, fuck no, that's not at all what happens. Basically, a week later, it's still bleeding every day. And I'm not just talking about like a little droplet of blood here and there, or maybe, oh, I taste a little bit of blood when I'm eating. No, I mean like fat blobs of blood. Like, I mean, if I were to close my mouth and go to sleep while it's bleeding, my whole mouth, cheek to cheek, will fill up with blood. That's a lot. It was dribbling out constantly. I couldn't even sleep without wads of tissue stuffed in my mouth, which is a choking hazard, because of how much it was bleeding. I was waking up every hour on the hour just to spend 20 minutes in front of the sink, spitting out repeated mouthfuls of blood, sticking ice cubes in my mouth, just praying to God and Jesus that it'll just stop for at least a little bit longer so I can get some sleep. It would always happen mostly at night. During the day, it was whatever, it would happen sometimes, whatever, but night was terrible. I had to eat around them also because they were sticking in the way of my teeth, so if I wasn't careful, I would bite them, and then that would cause even more blood, and it was just awful because I really couldn't eat a lot of the foods that I'm used to, such as burgers or anything where you had to open up your mouth wider. And I was Googling online, and nothing was really coming out about it, and I was showing pictures of the inside of my mouth to people, and some people were being like, yeah, that's not good, and stuff. Because one of these little studs inside my mouth was right on top of this huge little clot below the skin, where I guess it was a blood clot because it was all purple and blue and stuff. So eventually I turned to Lee and I said, and this was about like a week after, I was like, we need to go back to that place because this can't be normal. It's a week later, it should be healing up by now, and it's still just bleeding all over the place. And that night that I said that was the worst night that it happened. There was so much blood, barely even sleep. I got blood stains on my pillow. It was just crazy. So the next day, I wake up, I go to the piercing/tattoo place, I show them the inside of my mouth, and I explain to them and describe to them what these prior nights had been like. It was the owner of the shop that I was talking to. So this is never a good sign. He looks at it, and I can see the look on his face. It doesn't look good. So immediately he says to me, I gotta be honest with you, whoever did that fucked it up. It's not supposed to be like that. He did something wrong, so what we're gonna have to do, because you're not gonna be able to have any other piercings in there. I guess it was like pierced in the wrong place or whatever. It wasn't supposed to be sitting where it was sitting, and that's why it was bleeding so much. So he said, it's gonna keep bleeding like that, and you're not gonna be able to have any other piercings there. Like as far as studs or hoops or whatever go. Rings, I'm sorry. So he said, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take it out, let it heal back up and close, and then re-pierce them both again. Now obviously I was re-pierced for free, but it wasn't fun to do the first time around. It was excruciatingly painful to do both the first time around. I had to sit through it again for a 1, 2, and then a 3, and a 4th time. And let me tell you, when I went back a week later, it hurt double time the second time around. Because now my lips knew what to expect. So for number 3 and number 4, it hurt, and the uhs were even worse. The owner of the shop did it the second time around. Now I don't blame him, I don't blame anybody in the shop except the actual person who messed it up the first time. And didn't tell me or say anything about it, probably because he was hoping it wouldn't be that big of a deal, which it really, really was. And I got another saltine spray or whatever it was for free, so that was great. But the moral of the story, kids, is that you definitely have to make sure that you're going to the right person, because trust me, you don't want to go through an experience like I did. It was not fun. And don't be afraid to ask questions or Google things or whatever, because you don't want to go home acting like you know exactly what you're doing if you really don't, because you can really mess with something if you do that. Sometimes it's okay to be a little overly paranoid and make sure that you know everything. But now, obviously, they're done in the right place. I love it. They're great. They didn't even hurt after I got these done, which was like a big green light to me that this was okay, that I wasn't going to have to go through this again. About a day later, they were perfectly fine, and I noticed that I can still eat even when they were healing. Like, it wasn't in the way of my teeth like it was the first time around. They were like up towards... I can barely show you from here, but they were up towards more of the top of my teeth, whereas now they're up towards the bottom, where my gums are. So they don't get in the way of when I'm eating or when I'm smiling or anything. So that was obviously good. Hey everybody, quick interruption from today's video. I just want to bring to you this Aki Bento box of the month that we got right here. This is for the month of April. Basically, if you don't already know what Aki Bento is, they're a company that sends you a monthly subscription of boxes full of anime and manga merch, and everything that you get per month falls under a certain theme. And the cool part about it is that everything inside it, the value is worth more than what you're paying for the box. So you're also gonna get exclusive merch that you can't get anywhere else, and it all comes jam-packed into this lovely little box that you can be excited about showing up on your doorstep once a month. What we got for the month of April. Oh my god, I can already tell I'm gonna love this box. Just in case you're not familiar with what's in the box or the theme or anything else, they give you a little booklet per month, and this month's theme was Chance, and it says on the inside all the stuff that I got. A gambling theme going this month, which is cool because I love Kakegurui, and I can see already that a lot of it is based off of Kakegurui, the anime. A dice set and bag Aki Bento exclusive, which again means that you can't get this anywhere else. What I love about Aki Bento is that I always get exclusive items every month that I always end up using, and they're always just so cool. And people ask me where I get them sometimes, and I'm like, you can only get them with Aki Bento. You can't go to an anime store. We have a Kakegurui lanyard, which is where you put your lovely keys or your knickknacks, whatever the heck you want to bring to a convention. You can also put your ID in here or whatever, so that's pretty cool. Aki Bento always gives you per month an exclusive t-shirt without fail. So this month's theme is Chance, and we've got some gambling and stuff going on over here. This is, I can already tell, a t-shirt that I'm going to get a lot of use out of. This is so cool. Definitely going to be wearing this a lot. Volume 1 of the Black Butler manga. There are quite a lot of boxes where they try to put in the first volume of the manga, in which a lot of the theme is wrapped around, and I really appreciate that, because for somebody other than myself, because I already read Black Butler, for somebody other than myself who isn't into Black Butler or whatever the anime is that they include, they can get into it and try it by reading the first manga. So it's very smart of them to do. And last but not least, we have an Aki Bento exclusive necklace, which is awesome. And guys, if you're not already subscribed to Aki Bento boxes, I highly recommend that you do check out the link in my description. You can get your first box $20 only. That's a steal for all the merch that you're gonna get. This is valued well over $20. And thank you so much to Aki Bento, guys. Check them out. As for other piercings I may want, I've always wanted my eyebrow pierced, but I'm probably not going to do it because I've heard too many horror stories about rejection with piercings, especially the eyebrow. Even my mom pierced her eyebrow and it rejected, so I definitely don't want to go through that. Now, the comments may be off in the comment section because YouTube still hasn't returned my comments to me, so if they are, please check out the description. I'll put a community page link there, which will lead you to my YouTube profile and the community board where you can comment there, and it'll act as a temporary comment section. I want to know your thoughts on this video. I want to know if you have any piercings, or if you want to get any piercings, or any horror stories you've heard, or anything. I want to read them all, so just please go comment there. And thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And suggest future stories for me to tell. Hoping to get back into the groove of things. Yeah.